What's
Shane,
up?
Shane, drinking my 11,000-year-old water. Apparently, supposed to be good for you.
Well, I love. Okay, so there's a problem with that. All water is old.
Mm.
Like,
This water came from Ohio, from an underground water system, never been touched.
okay, so it untouched by human water. That's a better way to say it that we
Hmm.
know of.
Yes.
But when you said it's 100,000 years old, I'm like, well, the problem with that is it's like water's actually like billions of years old. It's the same fucking water. We've always had the same water. So
Is there a difference? Water's water.
yeah, it looks like the same water you're drinking. Some point, some bastard in Genghis Khan's army thousands of years ago drank it. It's the
Well,
same fucking water.
welcome everybody to another exciting edition of that Big Beefing Show. I am JP, and I am one third of that Big Beefing Show. And as always, the captain of this boat, Mr. Shane Rollins. How we doing, Shane?
Finally.
I'm sure
Uh,
either other cast members will be joining us soon, or Daniel probably fell asleep. I know he's been working. Daniel said he worked like 9 days straight or some shit like that.
yeah, he said they've been fucking his schedule up.
Well,
Doing it.
when you're the best, they're gonna focus you more when you're the best. So
Yeah, it's a common problem in management when you have somebody who is performing well, you give them more work, but then your shitty people, you give them less work, and it shouldn't be like that. The shitty people should get more work.
you, you should fire your less than proactive or less than
Well,
active or associates or
HR makes it hard as fuck to fire people. Like
yeah.
you have to do a lot of work to get somebody fired. Like the last person I got fired was so she got fired. She had to be supervised. Everything she did for 2 months straight. Everything she did was reviewed. Like any paperwork, any visits, contacts, all of it had to be reviewed. I wasn't the one that had to review it,
Shit.
thank God, but my friend did. And after the review period was done, she still fucked shit up.
Really?
So after that, that was game over.
Oh well. Oh well.
Kind of felt
Moving.
bad
Huh?
because she really needed the money. She needed the job, and
Well,
I think she wanted to do well. It's just too many fuck ups, man.
well, you want to give people chances, and you want to help them, but at the end of the day, who's in charge of your problem, Shane?
Yeah, that's true.
And the end of the days, it's you. You gotta take control somewhere. But anyways, moving on to today's topic, I guess. Shane, how do you feel? Shane, all the I talked about it already, but you're here. I want you to clarify on it. All these heroes behind me, definitely behind you, from Power Rangers, from Star Wars, to Marvel, to DC, to fictional, non-fictional. Do you believe but we see it in the boys. Heroes get jealous of each other, right? Heroines, right?
Yeah, that's the women. Yeah.
Okay, they get jealous of each other, right? Because like I
Yeah.
said, I watched DC's Public Enemy, which you and me enjoyed, quite a bit.
Yep.
And what I saw, Shane, as they show how Superman was set up and all that crap like that, what I saw was an opportunity for heroes that were at the bottom of the list. I'm not
Yeah.
talking like top three, Shane. Who you always think of? Top three.
Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman.
Everyone knows that's the top three.
Yeah.
Top five, top five. The other three fluctuate. Top 10, you fluctuates. Everybody wants to be what, Shane? Number
Yeah.
three or
Yeah.
number one.
They call them the big three.
Yep. But who's always number one? It fluctuates, right?
Well,
Batman, Wonder Woman. You kind of hate that,
yeah.
especially if you're like Captain Atom, or if you're Major Force, or Black Knight, or Black Lightning. Everyone wants to be number one, Shane. So, do you think they get jealous of the top three?
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. I think that's been explored in Green Arrow because Green Arrow is like always second fiddle to Batman,
Mm-hmm.
and I think he's kind of jealous that Batman's got it made. He gets all this respect. Um, I think you know, and it's never really explored, but I bet the Asian Black Ranger in Power Rangers, bet he was a little jealous of Tommy and Rocky.
Come
He just
on.
had him.
Yeah.
He just seemed like he wanted it more than they did. But he,
Everyone wants to be the Red Ranger. Everybody wants to be the leader. Everyone thinks they can lead better. Everyone always thinks so.
yeah.
So, in Public Enemy, what I saw was I didn't see, well, Captain Adam, you and me got to go take down Batman, Superman. It's our job. What I saw was, no, fuck that. This is my chance right here to show you I can be the top 3. I can be the top number 1. You know, that's what I saw. I didn't
That
see.
had to be their motivation, you know. That had to
Yeah,
be, I can prove myself.
yeah. So, but what happened, Shane?
Well, I mean, Superman and Batman kicked all their asses.
So you got you.
Basically, what happened is Superman turned into a big old fucking tornado, and it's game over. You know.
What kind of ego check is that for you? You're like, fuck, that's my one chance to try and beat him, and he kicked my ass. Well, that's probably why I'm ranked number 12. You know, what kind of ego is that for you?
And that just goes to show you the boys how, because the characters in the boys, they know Homelander cannot be fucked with.
Yeah.
They all know. Like, nobody's going to fuck with him. And it's weird that in this movie, people still think, and that's another problem comic books have. Superman's been around for 80 years. Mm-hmm. 85 years, I think. And, you know, it's almost 100 years. And not only one time was he beaten, but he wasn't truly beaten. Like, you're not going to kick his ass. It's just not going to happen. You know, you may get him once, but he's going to come back.
But that's a like I said, that's a normal male female thing we have. Like I was saying, like if you told me, Shane, you're gonna fight Brock Lesnar in a month, you're gonna think, Shane, my chance to prove myself, I can do it. Or in the back of your mind, you're going, you know, you'll get your ass kicked. Well, no, I'm gonna prove it. I'm David Goliath this shit real quick. You know? First of
all, I just want full disclosure. Brock Lesnar would destroy me. There's no question. I would be like Homer Simpson in that Mike Tyson fight. It would be, I would be the meat Rocky was punching and Rocky won. I would be there's no way I would stand a chance. But if there's money on the line, man, I'm going to do it. I'm going to take the beating, you know.
Always.
And you got to hope that you either hope he knocks you out with one hit, and yeah, that's embarrassing, but you're out. Or if it starts getting bad, the ref calls it, you know, before it gets out of control. Because I can't outrun the guy. I'm not stronger than he is. He's got more weight than I do. He's been fighting since he was in high school. So I don't have a chance. No chance in hell.
You still try though.
If it's the money, yeah. I mean, if you're like, hey, Shane, if somebody called, let's say Paul Heyman called me and he's like, hey, I kind of watched your podcast a little bit. Y'all talk about wrestling. I saw some of your cosplays, and we want to do something. We want to give somebody who nobody knows a surprise chance, and you're our guy. I mean, I'm gonna fucking do it. I'm gonna give it a shot. You know.
See, those gonna say no. There's people that say I'm not gonna do it, but there's a lot more that gonna say, you know what? Yeah, fuck it, let's do it. Give me 6 months to get myself ready to get my ass kicked. But yeah,
I know a school. There's that martial arts school I went to down the road. They don't even charge anything. You just show up, they hand you a gi, and you fucking throw down. And I got hurt, really bad doing that, but I could go there again and say, hey guys, look, I got this huge opportunity. And they may, if I tell them that though, they may be like, no, we don't want any part in it because we don't want you throwing our name out there. But on the other hand, they may want the publicity, so.
So how do you think that made the heroes feel when Batman and Superman were made innocent again? They had to go back to the Justice Tower. Yeah, remember you tried to take me on, and I just
I'm sure Superman put him in their place.
You think so? Or you think he just looked at him like, oh, guys, no big deal. Yeah. I'm proud of y'all for trying. I'm proud of y'all for trying to take me down, guys. I'm proud of y'all. But in the back of his head, don't you ever fucking think you can take me on ever again?
You remember that? You remember that episode where Shazam? He shows up and him and Superman get into it, and there's a scene where the news reporter's interviewing Shazam, and he's like, they're talking about Lex Luthor, and he's like, Well, yeah, well, I don't see why people can't get a second chance. Everybody deserves a second chance. And then, like the headline says, Captain Marvel endorses Lex Luthor, and it cuts to Superman, and he's like, "Come with me," and he set him straight. But then Captain Marvel flipped the script at the end, and he's like, "No more games," and he like slapped the fucking table, and he's like, "No more lectures."
Well, I got tired of the bullshit, Shane. You got to think though, that was a good team up. Now the Hawkman and Batman, I really don't like Hawkman as it is.
Hawkman. You know, like Hawkman, like that big old glove he's got, that gauntlet that he fucking hits Superman with the, what did he say it was? 10 times Earth's gravity or something?
Yeah.
Or 100 times Earth's gravity? I'm pretty sure Superman bench pressed like 350 Earths one time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, I don't know.
I know. Didn't one episode, Superman picked up the equivalent of a neutron star, something like with one hand, like with. What do you think was gonna happen to y'all?
I think, Superman would be like, after that was all done, he would probably be walking around being like, all right, yeah, Black Lightning, yep, all right, bud, how you doing? Hopefully you're up.
Like in reality, like Superman pulled Black Adam aside and goes, "What do you think you were gonna do, huh? What did you really think your little lightning was gonna do to me?"
He's went toe to toe with Captain Atom a few times. In that cartoon, he beat Captain Atom's ass. Remember when
That's Captain Atom, Not to downplay Captain Atom or Captain Atom fans, but it's Captain Atom and the Black Lightning going at it. Yeah. This is Batman, Superman going at it. That shook some shit up. Shazam and Superman going at it. That really shook some shit up.
Batman. So basically, Public Enemies. To draw an analogy to that cartoon, so you got Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman. You got Coke, Pepsi, and Dr. Pepper, and then Shasta. Take it down.
Going all the way down to Mr. Pibb.
No Country Fair has entered into the soda arena. I mean, it's not going to happen. You're not going to get HEB brand. It's just not going to. And HEB brand's good. They're not bad. They hold up, but not taking down fucking Coke. It's just ain't gonna happen.
And I know a lot of people think, no, if Batman could have done it, that was their shot. That was their chance. Was to prove themselves, okay, I know Batman's a normal guy. I got powers. I got this. Well, barely,
Well, and the thing is that was a good movie because it showed how well Batman and Superman can work together when they teamed up. I kind of wish that the movies had taken that approach. Like at the end of Justice League, when they're on the farm, I was like, okay, if that would have been your starting point, you start as them being friends, you would have had a lot better success than Batman wants to fucking kill his ass right out the bat. I mean, it's ridiculous. Friends for 80 years, and Zack Snyder's like, no, let's just make them fight. Fuck it.
Well, I think they, like I said, I say that, but they teamed up. They teamed up Shazam on Superman. Good fight. Good. That's one way you're gonna stop Superman. Hawkman gets Batman. They probably should pick someone. Oh man, maybe even Power Girl. They probably should have got Power Girl or Cyborg or.
I think they were trying to draw analogies. I mean, basically, Shazam is a Superman clone. I mean, that's what he is. He was the first. Well, the most successful Superman clone out of all of them. Hawkman, I don't know. I think he wasn't too long after Batman came on the scene, but I think it's just, they kind of got the mask and, they're both flying creatures. At that time in the comic book, Shazam and Hawkman were on the Justice Society of America. So it kind of was a parallel. It's like, who are we going to get to match? And you got to think, what choices did they have to go against Batman? If you did somebody like Power Girl, well, she's way too fucking powerful. It's not going to.
That boxing cat.
Wildcat. Yeah, that would have worked. They could have done Wildcat.
His costume, no.
The only problem with Wildcat, he's a little old. On the old side.
I like him, but his costume, like he basically gets a guy in a spandex with the cat mask and box and tape around the
got
glove.
Those wrist straps on.
I don't know what level he sits at. I'm pretty sure he's down there in the 20s,
No, I guess they could have had Wonder Woman try to rein him in. Wonder Woman and Batman fighting or something. I
They
don't know.
could have that. That would have been a good fight.
Or
You had
Aquaman.
Shazam.
You bring
Huh?
Aquaman in there. Aquaman,
Oh, it's Aquaman, Shane.
right out in the desert. Perfect place for Aquaman.
Aquaman.
Fuck the desert.
So who? I ask, who got the better the better deal, Superman and Lois Lane, or Green Arrow and Black Canary? Who won out better?
Well, the thing is that I think Green Arrow, I think he gets it because
Yeah, he gets it. Come on, Lois Lane, Look at both of them side by side. What's the difference?
yeah, I've seen some drawings of Lois Lane where she can be hot and sometimes, um, but she doesn't have powers. She
Mm-hmm.
can't kick ass. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, her dad's a general, and that's probably and she's a award-winning journalist, but she's nosy as fuck. She's bitchy. She's moody. Um, and she's arrogant. Like this is a woman who literally thinks she is good enough for the strongest, most well-known superhero ever.
Uh
So she's got to be a bitch. Black Canary, Black Canary is like she's taking pity on Oliver. Like she feels sorry for him. Like she
What?
she
You don't think she sees that tough, rugged? Look at this man go out there try
I,
every
I
night.
think she likes his drive. She likes how dedicated he is. Because Green Arrow, my favorite thing about Green Arrow is any of the comic books or cartoons or even the show, he's never the guy that go in there and just kick everybody's ass like Batman is.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking Green Arrow gets fucked up. Like he gets beat on, but he still keeps going.
Okay, I gotta agree with that. He is the guy that doesn't shut down the scene, but he does make a little ruckus.
Right, right. He'll never be the all-star. He's never the running back. He's not making the touchdowns. He's not the quarterback. He's not throwing the passes. But he's the guy. He's the lineman. He's on the line and he's doing his job. I think that he's got it better because Black Canary, for one thing, could destroy Green Arrow. I mean, he wouldn't stand a fucking chance in a fight. And yeah, sometimes the way she's drawn, she's got those fishnet leggings, and it's got the little jacket and the gloves, and yeah, I think Green Arrow, Superman. The only time Superman really stepped his game up was with Wonder Woman. That's the
Oh
only
yeah,
time.
we date Wonder Woman.
Yeah, um, when he's just doing the normal chicks like Lana Lang and Lois Lane, it's like, yeah, I mean, they're pretty, but you're a fucking alien,
Yeah, it's Superman. Look at he looks. Superman can pull
Yeah,
anything he wants.
you're toying with these women when you could literally go to Amazon and get this unaging beauty. And she was into it, man. She's ready to go. Um,
I know they made comics where Batman Wonder Woman date for a long time. I know they did. I forget why they end. I guess Batman, like Superman's too committed and shit like that. Hell, even when Batman was in Hush, Batman was got
like a
Sleepy
cat.
Kyle. Good catch, good one,
Yeah,
good one from Batman. But like I said, just workaholic though.
yeah.
She was a good one for him though.
But the person who pulled out, you wouldn't believe this, but the person who pulls all the most ass out of the comic books is Dick Grayson. He's
Yes,
with more women fucking
yes.
anybody else. Starfire, Wonder Girl,
Mm-hmm.
Batgirl.
Martian's daughter.
Yeah, the
He
Meg.
pulled a Martian.
Yeah.
Oh, did he? That's a Superboy.
I don't know if he got with Megan. I know he got with Harley Quinn in one of those cartoons.
That's considered rape, by the way. He didn't really get.
Yeah, well, I mean, she jumped on him. Like he saw her undress and something popped up and she jumped on it. But he didn't really use his escape skills to try to get out of it.
I think he could have got out of that pretty easily if he wanted to.
Well, Batman shows up and he's like, "What the fuck?" Like, oh well, I guess whatever. But yeah,
Batman gave him a fist bump after that. I'm not okay. I'm mad at you, but
something about those fit gymnasts, those fit acrobats that the chicks in DC are just super into.
I was gonna try to collect. Side note, real quick. I was gonna try to collect those comic books you talked about where they made Power Girl's breast bigger every issue.
Yeah.
Apparently they're hard to find, or I'm just too damn lazy to find them. But
Yeah, that's back when the comic started and the guy was really trying to push the envelope
mhm.
and seeing what he could get away with. So yeah, they're gonna be back in the first run of it, and probably it'll probably take course over the years. So you may be better off finding like just a screenshot of the growth over time. Just
Mhm.
find it this way.
Yeah, Dick pulled a lot. Dick
Yeah.
got that Dick working. He pulled a shit ton.
Well,
They showed Jason Todd. He pulled a few. You know, he did all right. He got start. Jason Todd got Starfire. That's what it was.
I with Roger, and if this new child was going to be a boy, you know how bad I want Dick. Like that's the name. Like I got Grayson. I was able to get Grayson in there, so I got a little win. But man, I was like, with Roger, I was like, man, I could really name him Dick Grayson, and that would be so awesome.
Why couldn't you do that? Why couldn't you?
No, you can't name a kid Dick these days.
Roger, Dick, Grayson, Rollins.
Yeah, it's too wordy. Too wordy.
It's like the smallest names out there.
Too wordy. Can't do it. It just I don't need
Bobby.
well, and then one of the a lot of people I know that have those names like that, but they're like Luke Skywalker. They're usually fuck ups. There's usually something wrong with them. Like no famous people has somebody else's name. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess you're right.
I mean, how many famous people out there are named Anakin? I mean, there's not one Anakin.
Not that I can pull out my hat.
There's no Anakins. There's no Obi-Wans. There's no, I mean, it's just not a good. It causes problems. I think there might be some Clark Kents out there because that's just kind of a common thing.
Mm-hmm.
There's probably some successful Bruces, but you're not going to get an Anakin or a.
I was talking to the wife about like if it's a boy, I'm really hoping he goes to the next Robin.
Oh,
whatever, Jason Morales. I'm like, I just know how much you don't like Red Hood. Like, man, like I don't think he's gonna go for it because it's a Red Hood. He thinks he's a bitch, and I don't know if he was go for that.
I kind of, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, John. When I read the Death in the Family when the Joker kills Jason Todd, I was kind of like, yeah, he's a little shit. Like, I'm not sad that he. I could see why people voted to have him killed off.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of a fucking asshole.
Well, like I said, they've been trying to redeem his character for the longest time.
Yeah, I thought it was fucked up.
They tried redeeming him.
That one where he, and for all the listeners, we're talking about. Okay, so I got to break this down for everybody. Batman and Robin. Everybody pretty much knows who that is. The original Robin was Dick Grayson. Yeah,
Dick
yeah.
Grayson?
So Dick Grayson was Robin number one. Him and Batman had a falling out, disagreement. Batman finds this kid trying to steal hubcaps off the Batmobile. That's Jason Todd. Jason Todd gets, he's looking for his mom against Batman's wishes, ends up crossing paths with the Joker. Joker beats his ass with a crowbar to death, and then blows him up in a building. Mm-hmm. But then he's later resurrected as the anti-hero Red Hood. Mm-hmm. That's Jason Todd. The third one is Tim Drake. Tim Drake was just a really smart, super sleuth kid, and he just figured out who Batman was and showed up at Wayne Manor one day and was like, I know who you are. And it's like, well, fuck, I need a new Robin. Come on in. And then about 15 years after that, one day Talia al Ghul shows up and she's like, hey, we fucked one time and you got a kid. And I didn't tell you because I wanted him to be a badass assassin.
Wait. Stop, though. Stop. Backtrack real quick. How did Batman not realize he had been raped? And, like, you're going to wake up, he's going to wake up going, well, I'm here in my suit and I feel relieved. How do you not know something happened to you?
I think he probably knew what happened. He was probably okay with it, but he probably didn't know that there was a son. I mean, by the time he finds out about Damien, I think Damien was like 12 years old. And it's
I believe so.
Yeah, I mean, and he had been trained like a Spartan, like in a cold ass environment, because he was supposed to take over the League of Assassins. And if you remember, the reason why Talia got rid of him is because she thought this isn't right. It's not going to work. So maybe Batman can taper him out a little bit because he's too serious. He's going to be a dangerous person. But yeah, it's so that's an interesting story. Yeah, so you got 4 Robins, and there's been some other people here and there, like alternate versions. There was this chick named Spoiler. She took over for like 3 issues. There's the girl from The Dark Knight Returns. But those, Dick, Jason, Tim, and Damien are the core, right? And they all got dark hair, blue eyes, and they all kind of look the same a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Well, well, okay, correct me. Tim left, became Nightwing, right?
No, Dick became Nightwing.
I know. Tim became
Red Robin.
Nightwing. Yeah, Tim
Tim.
became Red Robin.
Yep.
Jason became Red Hood.
Yep.
Then Damien stayed Robin.
Yep.
And Dick became Nightwing.
Yep. And then when Batman went on, vacation for a little while, Dick took over as Batman.
Now, same thing. Damien thought, you know what? I want to be number one. The only way to be number one is to beat the previous 3.
Yep.
Same thing, Shane.
Yeah.
His mind. Oh, my dad thinks these 3 are better than me. Well, I gotta show Dad that I'm number one. I am it. And he set out on an adventure to fight them all.
Yeah, I think because he's a kid, his jealousy is going to show a lot more than like an adult would. I mean, because you got to think in the superhero universe. Let's say you're Peter Parker, right? You're fucking in high school. Your aunt's barely fucking making it. Her husband's dead, probably because of your dumbass being sorry. And yeah, you got these powers, and you can go do all these great things. But if you tell anybody who you are and get credit for it, they're going to kill all your family. Mm-hmm. It's just going to be you, and they'll eventually figure out how to kill you. So, but then you look at Tony Stark. Everybody knows who he is. He doesn't give a fuck. He even told the Mandarin, "Come get me. Come to my house." Didn't give a shit. Gave the address. He walks around without his armor on. Just doesn't give a shit, and everybody knows who he is. Everybody knows he's Iron Man. And then, so if you're Peter Parker and you got this gift and you see this guy who has no powers and is able to walk around and do all this shit, I imagine you'd be a little jealous about it. You want some of that. You want some of the what Tony Stark has.
So let's recap what happened to Damien. Damien he never fought Red Robin, did he? Did he ever meet with Red Robin?
Yeah, I think he fucking almost killed him.
I didn't read that issue. I know he met with Red Bush. I don't know. You said like, oh look, John, because I remember you're the first one that set the picture to me. Oh look, John, Damien just kicked Red Hood's ass and took his helmet. I was like, God dang it, man.
Yeah.
God, what is wrong with the people at DC? I know you want to make Damien popular, but God dang it, y'all been trying to work on Jason Todd comeback for the longest ass time, trying to make him good. Yeah, keep doing these shitty things to him.
I think they underestimate how much people like Red Hood. Like they like the idea of, somebody who's kind of the anti-Batman that's been trained but went off the rails. But I think they just don't really know always what to do with the character. Like that whole angst, that whole like, oh, this is what Batman did to me. That kind of shit, it gets old. Like just stick to what he's got. A cool costume. It's a cool idea. He's a thorn in Batman's side. He's one of his failures. And I think they just don't explore the character enough.
So he met Red Robin, kicked his ass. I don't know what he took from Red Robin. Probably did he take his emblem or something? Yeah,
took the little R off his chest or something.
Okay.
Like that. There can only be one Robin or something like that.
So, and then he met up with Red Hood in his room. They scuffled. He got away with his helmet, so basically kicked his ass. Then he met up with Dick.
Yeah.
Met up with Dick.
Yep.
But did Jason or Tim warn Dick about him? Is that what happened?
I think he had a heads up.
So he knew he was gonna pull this bullshit. So he really didn't beat Dick, did he? He didn't really beat him.
I don't think they were. Well, I think the fight, like, if I'm not mistaken, Dick was able to just get him to stop, like just to cut it out because they were going too hard. And I think Dick didn't want to, he didn't want one of them killing the other. But
You know it was jealousy. You know, it's that thing Tim said, "Oh, you do it because you're jealous." And like, it's not jealousy. It's it's I got to prove to my dad that I'm it. And
in the Injustice series, Damien ends up killing Dick Grayson.
oh shit.
There's this, like when they do the clash, when they say the little lines before they run at each other.
Mm-hmm.
There's this scene where Damien says something like, "Oh, hey, Dad, aren't you happy to see your son?" And Batman's like, "You're not my son. Dick Grayson was my son." And then they just bam run at each other and start fighting. Yeah,
Shit.
yeah.
Well, let's look at the Watchmen. You think the Watchmen had any jealousy issues, or did they all know Mr. Manhattan? Oh no, I'm sorry, Mr. Manhattan. What's his name?
Dr. Manhattan.
Dr. Manhattan was the A game. He was it.
Yeah, I think that was kind of like the boys. They're so fucking scared of this guy that, like, even Ozymandias. Now, the reason why Ozymandias was nervous is because he was plotting against him, and he was worried at all times that he was going to get figured out.
But Ozymandias was a super intelligent,
Yeah,
super. I think he only has super strength, right?
he was the peak of human ability. He was basically like
Yeah.
he's in the best shape a person could possibly be in.
But you couldn't tell though. You couldn't tell with the suit and the clothes. You could never tell that's what he was.
Yeah.
But like you said, though, he was super intelligent.
Yeah. Yeah. He was also like a outrageously high IQ, but so did Dr. Manhattan, because I mean he was a physicist, but Ozymandias, he basically explored all avenues of the mind. He was basically out unlocking the potential of the human mind, whereas Dr. Manhattan could fucking create matter, so he's a god. I mean, he can do anything.
I wish I could respect Owlman more, but Owlman just seemed like a guy that was literally just floating around, like, "Hey guys, what we do next? Hey, what we do next, guys? What we gonna do, guys? Let's go. I'm smart, but I'm ready just to do stuff. Let's do stuff."
Yeah.
Like, is he like that kind of guy?
Yeah, he couldn't really hold it on his own. And if you remember, it's kind of funny. I can't remember if they covered it in the comic book. I know it was addressed, but it wasn't until he put that suit back on, like he couldn't get it up when he was trying to fuck that lady.
Man, like, come on, man.
Oh shit! And then as soon as he puts that suit on, he's like, "Yeah, I got my fucking groove back." Yeah, he's basically a fucking cosplayer to the max. That's what he is.
I feel like Rorschach was like the Bert to Ernie, like,
yeah.
Shut the fuck up, Al, man. Come on.
Right. Pretty much.
Man, shut up, man.
Well, I think he kind of saw the benefit. Here's a guy who can build me some shit and can get me some information, but at the same time, he doesn't take this as seriously as I do.
Yeah.
That's evident by his fucking outfit. It's like, look at him. He's a giant owl. And so
when you look at Rorschach, I don't know what kind of physical condition he was in, but his drive was awesome.
Yeah.
But he had no super strength. He had he was a great detective.
Right.
But his costume, it seemed like he never took a bath. He
ate beans out of the can. He just ate can of beans.
Yeah. So, but he knew how to fight very well, also.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. What's your take on Rorschach?
I liked him. I kind of sucked that he died. I didn't think he should. I was like, out of all the people Dr. Manhattan could kill, he killed the one guy who was actually. I like the fact that Dr. Rorschach stayed by his principles all the way through.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
He told Dr. Manhattan was a god. Like, everybody's like, well, fuck. And Rorschach's like, I'm telling everybody what y'all did. Like, this isn't right. People need to know who was responsible. And they're all kind of like, yeah, but it might be a good thing. So can we just let it die? And he's like, nope, I'm telling. And so he had to pay the price for that. I thought that was kind of unfair because nobody would have believed him. I mean, they're not going to fucking. He's a psych.
It'll be like
and he's an inmate. They would have locked his ass up. They know who he is. As soon as he got back, you're going into custody.
All he had to say was, "Oh, come on, look at him. Come on." Of course, he's going to say something like, "He's a conspiracy theorist. He's a whack job. Come on now, He just
I felt bad.
Prison.
Did you read the Minutemen, the prequel to the Watchmen?
You know what? I got them stashed. I never read them. I got them, but never read them.
Rorschach's mom was a whore, like a
Yes.
hooker, a prostitute, and he grew up watching men like abuse her and shit, and that's what created the fuel in him, to face evil. So he was very big into morals. Like he didn't want anything that you did wrong. If you did something wrong, you were a piece of shit. And not only if you did something wrong, like if you just lived your life a certain way, he thought you were a piece of shit. Like if you watch TV and you chilled, you're a piece of garbage. You're not out there doing it. You need to be out there making a difference. And it fueled him because so many people, how it is. You work your job, and at the end of the day, you're like, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna go home and chill." And Rorschach, your job never ends. You got to work until you're fucking dead. And yeah, I mean he's crazy. But there was a scene where he showed restraint when that old man got killed by the gangbangers, the old night owl, and the new night owl like goes off on him, and he's punching that guy until his like teeth are falling out of his head. And then Rorschach's like, "Come on, man, let's go. Let's just end it." That was he was like, "Okay, we're crossing the line." So he doesn't want to murder people, but he does want to get the job done. So he's like Punisher light.
Well, speaking of Punisher, you look at comedian. I swear, the comedian thought you can solve any problem with hot lead.
Yeah,
Hot lead will solve any of your problems, and quick wit and hot lead.
yeah,
Problem solved. You know.
yeah. I mean, he didn't give a fuck. He was like, "What? Bottom line, what do I got to do to get the job done?
And
And if
he
I
was
rape
a
a chick
regular,
along the
yeah,
way, I don't
yeah.
care."
He was a regular guy with two guns. I mean, two 45s, a shotgun sometimes, or whatever gun he had, a flamethrower, and he was large man so he had strength. He wanted to have super strength, but he was a very large guy.
Oh, I got to ruin this for you. You didn't
Oh
read the Minutemen thing?
no, what happened?
Okay, so you know how at the old school Minutemen, the old guys, the guys that came first,
Mm-hmm.
before Dr. Manhattan and all them, there was like the Hangman, there was the Dollar Bill, there was the Moth guy.
Yeah,
So the story is like what all happened to those guys. What was happening? Something like bad things kept happening. Like one guy, his thing got stuck in the door and he got killed. The other guy, they never found him. He just disappeared. The lesbian chick got murdered with her lover. So in the book, The Minutemen, you find out that the government had gotten tired of the superheroes. So they told the comedian to set up all their deaths to make it look like um, that the hangman was killing them all because they were morally corrupt or something like that.
oh shit.
And so what the comedian did was he was doing that, and he was like Night Owl was one of the last people he was going to target because Night Owl was just a guy running around punching people. Like he had a chainmail glove, and that was it. He was just a dude he wore like briefs, had a shitty mask. Um, and so he really wasn't paying any attention to Night Owl because he didn't think he was that big of a threat. Well, so Night Owl thinks that it's the hangman that's killing all these people. So he finally finds him, and they get like into a fucking knockdown, drag out fight. And the hangman's trying to tell him, he's like, "Look, this isn't me, but I think I know who did this." And Night Owl's like, "Shut up, I don't want to hear it from you." And so they beat the hell out of each other. And Night Owl's on the ground, and he starts thinking, he was like, I never got the joke, but the way to kill you was there sitting in front of my face the whole time. So he reaches up and he grabs his noose and he fucking chokes him, kills him. And then the comedian shows up and he's like, "Hey, what you doing here, bud?" And Night Owl's like, "This is the guy who killed everybody." And he's like, "Oh, no, 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 that wasn't him. I was actually going to kill him, but you did my job for me. That was me that killed everybody." And he jumped out the window and left. And the Night Owl's just like, "No!" Yeah.
That's a TV series, wasn't it?
They're making it into a TV series. Well, the new
I thought it was out already. They're
no,
still
the new
making
well,
that?
I don't know. I don't have cable, so I don't know. But the new Watchmen, I think it's supposed to be after Dr. Manhattan stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The new Watchmen takes place after. I don't think they ever did a prequel about not a live action one, anyways. I don't think they ever did the original Minutemen. So,
Interesting.
fucking, yeah, it's just a fucked up story, man. It's Alan Moore, fucking crazy British dude, fucking with the big old beard and shit.
Man, crazy storyline. I like this. Like I like those crazy storylines. And like you said, when you look at the comedian or Rorschach, they didn't care about who's on top. They didn't give a shit.
Yeah.
There's a few exceptions that people of heroes that go, I don't care who's at the top. I'm out here doing my part. Like Rorschach and I guess a comedian. I guess didn't give a shit about who's on top. Who to shoot, try to shoot your ass.
You know who's a good example of somebody that is super jealous and it's like fucking obvious?
Who?
This guy right here.
Man, Cyclops. Come on, man.
He fucking hates Wolverine's gut. You got to think about it. Cyclops, okay, so Professor X, is one of the most powerful mutants the world has ever known. And Magneto's telling him, he's like, look, these humans are going to fucking kill us. We need to go to war. So I'm going to build an army. Are you with me? And Professor X is like, no, I don't like that shit. We need to work with the humans. We need to learn to coexist. So he's going to build a team to fight Magneto's team. And is chosen, like the team lead is Cyclops. He's like, from the time he's a kid, he's like, you're going to lead my team. You're going to be my champion for the X-Men. You're going to be the hero. And for the first 15 years or so, that's what Cyclops does. And then all of a sudden, this little short fucking hairy bastard from Canada comes in, doesn't give a fuck. Comes in, drinks beer, fucking kills people, doesn't give a shit, doesn't know who he is. And he goes after your girl. Like right off.
Girlfriend, yeah.
He's like, this is my chick. This is my bitch. And Scott's just like, oh, but I've known her since I was a kid and I love her. And Wolverine's like, fuck you. I'm getting what I want. And then when he anytime Jean Grey turns him away, he's like, all right, fuck it, I'm leaving. He just fucking leaves the X-Men alone. Leaves the team. Wanders off, fights Sabretooth. Wanders in drunk one day because he ain't got nowhere else to go. And they take him back. And then eventually, as time goes by, because the fans started liking Wolverine more, like Wolverine rises into prominence and he ends up taking control of the team. And I know they had to fucking burn Cyclops a new asshole. I know they had to fucking piss him off.
Well, like you said, he was Professor Xavier's golden child.
Yep.
He was raised and pampered to be the leader, and
yep.
And he got mad. He changed his costume several times. He thinks he's a great leader, and he makes all the tough choices. And which, for the most part, I think he's a good leader. Would I have left? Would you have left Morph, Shane? Would you have left him, or were you gonna keep on fighting?
It's Morph, John. Morph.
That I don't know. Like I said, he's part of the team. But he's somebody's best friend. Now, would he have left him if he was Cyclops' best friend? You think that would have changed it?
Yeah, probably not. If it'd been like Jean Grey, I bet they would have fucking fought.
Yeah, he was no, okay, fighting. Well, we gotta leave her. Nope, we're going back, guys. It's Jean. Yeah. So you can. I know some people are like, no, that's bullshit. No, if it was Jean, Scott say, no, we're staying. We gotta save her. We gotta go right now.
God, I've seen that damn episode so many times when I was a fucking kid. That was the first episode. Morph is gone, right? They take him off the table right off the bat.
Yep.
And Beast too, right? Beast doesn't show up till like season 3, right?
Yeah, he got arrested and he was sending ready for court.
Yeah, they busted him all. Yeah, so you see him occasionally like in a suit, like showing up in the courtroom. And you're like, it's fucking Beast, man. I want to see him doing shit. I want to see him running around.
No.
Yeah, I kind of feel bad for Cyclops though, because here's a guy. I can kind of empathize with him because he's just trying to follow the rules. He's just a rule follower. He's the school crossing guard. He's the school hall monitor.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, people are going to be like, you're a fucking dick. Let me live my life. But I can empathize with somebody who's trying to keep things in order. He's trying to keep order. And Wolverine just shits on his face and fucking gets praised for it. And I get why he's got that.
And he's got to stay composed the whole time. Yeah, you just shit on my face. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I can't lose my composure.
Well, and the thing is that Cyclops knows he can't go fist fighting with Wolverine. Like, he's got to get him at a distance, right? I mean, he's got to hit him fucking hard with everything he's got if he's going to take him down. So they're always in close quarters, and that's Wolverine's game. I mean, if you're in close quarters with Wolverine, your ass is fucking dead.
What was that one comic book? Was it Apocalypse that Cyclops shot off Wolverine's hand?
Yeah.
And Wolverine gouged one of his fucking eyes out or something.
Yeah, they had. It was Age of Apocalypse, and in that universe, they finally had a confrontation. Instead of Scott being raised by Professor X, he was raised by Mr. Sinister. And so he's like supposed to be the golden child of Apocalypse, like his leader. And Wolverine was kind of like a rough, basically like he always does whatever the fuck you
Yeah.
want.
Yeah, I don't think it changed his character a lot.
Yeah, and so they get into a fight, and I guess Cyclops, because our wrist joint isn't connected, and so Cyclops was able to slice his wrist off at that joint when it cauterized the wound, so it couldn't grow back, and that was that.
Did they give him like some screw-on claw? They like.
Yeah, well, they gave him like a metal fucking peg.
Yeah,
little metal fucking peg.
That was his claws after that, and the Cyclops lost an eye.
And he loses his eye and grew his hair out long, looked kind of like a grunge 90s. Did you read the Ultimate X-Men?
Yes.
So this kind of pissed me off about Wolverine because he was a douchebag in that fucking comic book. Him and Cyclops went on a mission in the where are the fucking dinosaurs at? What's that called? Dangerland, the Danger Zone.
Not Neotopia. I'm sure everybody knows we're fucking it up and was yelling at us.
Dinosaurs. I can't remember what it's called. It's where Kazar lives. And
Isn't that where Mr. Sinister keeps his base?
Yeah, he has his base in there.
Oh man, it's a hidden world. Somehow Professor Xavier could walk there.
Savage Land. The Savage Land. The Savage Land. So there was an issue of Ultimate X-Men where Wolverine and Cyclops had to go on a mission into the Savage Land. And this is the Ultimate Universe. So in the Ultimate Universe, Cyclops is pretty much like a Spec Ops guy. He's really good with martial arts and stuff and, rock climbing and all that. And Wolverine is a younger version of Wolverine. He's like, he's not old and gruffy, but he's still a fucking asshole. Well, off the bat, he likes Jean Grey. And he sees her hooking up with Scott. So they're in the fucking Savage Land. And Scott's like, all right, Wolverine, we're going to go down this hill. We're going to go down this mountain. And we're going to go looking for this guy down here, okay? And he sets up all the gear. And Wolverine's like, yeah, whatever. I'm right behind you. So Cyclops jumps down the wall. Wolverine pulls out his claws and just cuts the fucking rope. And Cyclops just falls and fucking breaks every bone in his body. And is just laying there with his arm fucked up over his head. And Wolverine's like sniffing. He's like, oh, yeah, he's done for. He's dead. So he leaves his ass there and goes off and does the rest of the mission. And they're all like, all the other X-Men are like, where's Scott? And he's like, I don't know. I lost him. Couldn't find him. He's gone. So Scott, like, over the next few days, he wakes up. It's kind of like the Revenant. Crawls himself together with his arm all fucked up, pulls himself out of the fucking cliff, finds his way to, wherever their fucking ships are, makes it back to the United States, and he's like, you son of a bitch.
God,
they still had to work together. They still had to be like on a team and shit,
No, there's no working that shit out. No, we're going at it right now.
I think I can't remember what happened between it. It's been so long since I read it. Something happened. Either Wolverine got like kicked off the team or something after that. But yeah, Scott was fucking pissed, man.
No, there was one. I think it was the Ultimate series also. That Spider-Man and Wolverine's their minds got switched. So Wolverine was in Peter Parker's body and Peter Parker was in Wolverine's body, and it made it obvious that Peter Parker fucked Mary Jane.
Oh,
that Wolverine fucked Mary Jane.
Yeah.
I was like, oh shit! And because at the end of the issue, like, hey, you didn't do nothing, did you? He's like smiling, like, man, Wolverine just fucked Mary Jane. Like,
the next time her and Peter hook up, she's like, hey, do that thing you did last time. And Peter's like, what are you talking about? So no, I really like this thing that you did. No, I don't know if that happened. I'm saying that would be funny if it did happen.
No, I know there's one issue. Was it Wolverine? I just saw it somewhere. Wolverine made a comment about Aunt May or something, and Spider-Man just threw him out the fucking window.
Yeah.
And they said that window's supposed to be unbreakable. I know. He fucking just threw his ass out the window. He knew he would live.
I thought like 20 years ago, I thought Wolverine was the number one character at Marvel, but everybody says that Spider-Man has always been the number one. I thought maybe like at some point, like throughout history, Wolverine took over, and then like Iron Man took over for a little bit.
For Marvel, it's different, I guess. When you mention, say, right now, Shane, Marvel, top 3 characters.
Thor, Captain America, Iron Man.
There you go. So Spider-Man might be in the top 5. Name top 5.
Okay.
Name 2 more
Okay.
now.
So in their universe, Spider-Man's not considered a big deal. Like nobody wants to be Spider-Man for the most part.
I
Like
guess.
in the Marvel universe.
Yeah.
Like if you're a kid and you're living in the Marvel universe and these characters are real, you want to be Iron Man. You
You
want to
want to
be
be Iron Man. You want to be Thor. You want to be the head honcho, Captain America. You
you
know.
don't want to be fucking Spider-Man. Nobody knows who you are, and you run around in a fucking onesie.
Who's your top 5?
Out of Marvel,
Yeah.
uh, I think it would be Iron Man, Captain America, Thor, Spider-Man, and Wolverine.
Okay. No
Maybe
Deadpool in
Hulk.
there.
You might change Wolverine and Hulk out
Mm-hmm.
between those two. I think
I, I,
Spider-Man has to be in the top 5. I don't think he's that respected in their universe, but I think
who?
he's like an interesting character.
Who is Spider-Man?
Spider-Man.
I liked War Machine because me. I like all the belt like
He
Tony said,
just
all the
looks cool.
bells and
War
whistles.
Machine just looks fucking badass.
Yeah, I like all the bells and whistles as Iron Man says. I like
Yeah.
all the bells and stuff. Shit, I'm all about the bells and whistles.
Well, and Colonel Rhodes is like no bullshit. Like he's like, we're on mission. Let's go do the mission and get it done.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't care about showing off and doing all the shit Tony Stark does. He's just like, I'm in. Basically, he's a pilot. He's just flying the war machine. That's his job. Like
Okay. Side note, real quick. We talk about metal suits and everything. When you look at the Superman, uh, um, Superman, Superboy, what's the other guy's name? Steel,
Steel,
Eradicator, right?
Eradicator, Cyborg, Superman.
You gotta think Steel is at the bottom of that fucking food
Yeah,
chain.
he knew he was outclassed. He knew. I mean,
You gotta think, I'm doing good out here. I'm doing good on that fucking hammer. Like I'm doing good. I know I'm doing good.
I mean, it's Shaq, right? Remember the Shaq movie?
No, I'm not talking about that piece of shit. Oh god,
That's
that killed Steel. That killed him.
yeah.
You know
That sucked because DC was trying to make him their next big thing. Yeah, there you go. You got him right there.
Yeah, that piece of
Oh, that's a
magic.
badass little. Oh, you got him in the dome. Yeah.
Dome, that Steel with his own cape, as you gotta think like, man, he's just thinking, I'm out here doing good. I'm doing good. But in reality, come on, man, you can't compete with Superboy, Eradicator,
No.
Cyborg, Superman.
Yeah.
You know,
At best, he was just like buy them a second or two to get away.
man,
You
all
know.
they had to do is like rip his suit open to get.
I did like that his hammer had jets on it, so he could swing it fucking harder.
Oh God, man,
It's cool. It's like whoop.
I forgot who became the she Steel. His niece.
Oh yeah, Natasha Irons.
Yeah, she became. I got that one too. You got it? She has her own hammer and stuff.
Natasha Irons.
Yeah, see, we got the same one. Yeah.
Here.
Wasn't her suit? Oh no! If my helmet comes up, was that the variant version?
No, it's the Public Enemies one.
I got
You
check.
got this one. The helmet should come off.
I mean, check it out. But anyway, yeah, Shane, come on. He's a bomb in the barrel, Shane. He's that he's down there with who's the guy with the guns? He's a cowboy.
Oh God, Vigilante.
Yeah, I'm like, you just shooting bullets, man. You got just like a cowboy shooting bullets.
I think Steel's a little bit above Vigilante.
Because he can stop the bullets.
A little bit above. Steel's like in the realm of like Booster Gold and Blue Beetle. Like he's in that category.
You think so?
Yeah, I think he could. Yeah, I think he can beat Booster Gold's ass.
Booster Gold. No.
You know, so? I mean, all Booster Gold is a guy in a suit from the future. I mean, that's all he is.
You know what, Shane? Mine does it too.
Yeah.
I never knew that.
Yeah.
I never knew that until you did that. I never knew this thing came off. Never, ever. I just learned that tonight. I never knew that.
16 years now?
16 years. I never knew she did that. Son of a. bitch, man.
Yeah.
But, even her, teamed up with Steel. Come on, guys, y'all not ready for any kind of Superman.
I think they're okay for what they are, but they couldn't take over. They couldn't like go do what Superman. For one thing, their suits run out of juice super fast. I'm sure they're good if they team up with Black Lightning and his kids.
Who's that
Lightning.
big ass Iron Man suit looking thing with the girl that looks like she had a
Oh,
question mark?
Stars and Stripes.
Huh?
Stars and Stripes.
He Star and she Stripes.
Yeah, I got his
That
suit too.
that team looks cool, but I've never seen the effectiveness of them two together. I've never seen them. Come on, Shane, look at that thing. That's an Iron Man suit with a different head. See, look how cool that looks.
Stars and Stripes.
But I never read a comic book with them how they fight together as a team.
Yeah, they were in Justice Society of America, and usually anytime this guy like fought, there was always other people around. Like he rarely went out on his own. But yeah, he was cool. It's cool team up.
But they could beat Steel, right? Those two.
Yeah, I think so. I think they could. Steel's smarter than him though, so he might be able to get away. But
get away.
This weapon here is pretty fucking powerful. This rod.
What is that? I was asking. What is her weapon?
It's a rod that Starman built, and it basically lets her control gravity.
Mm-hmm.
And it's got a fucking like electricity thing on it that shoots out too. But it's basically a gravity thing, so she can fly with it. She can go into space. It's got like a fucking force field and shit. So I know they're gonna ask. So if you separate her from the staff, what happens? Useless. She's fucking dead. She's dead. So I think she knows a little bit of martial arts, but the guy who created her, Jeff Johns. Which one of his works? He wrote the Green Lantern, Blackest Night. Okay, I read all those. He wrote Justice League War. The one where they fight Darkseid. I've got a few of those. Yeah. He's a real big guy at DC. He wrote what did he write that you would know? The Aquaman, the New 52 Aquaman. Okay. Anyways, this is I want to say it's either his sister or his niece. He based it off of her. Oh, really? She died like in a car crash or something. Oh, wow. And he based it off of her. Yeah. So. Well, that's kind of cool, They gave her the same name and everything. It's like Courtney something. Really? Yeah. So who stars though? Well, there was a guy. So there used to be a kid. He was like Star Kid, and there was a guy called Starman. And Starman retired. He was old. He retired. His like nephew or cousin takes over. He becomes the new Starman, and he's just a guy in a suit. He kind of looks like Tony Stark, and he wears goggles, and he just rides around on this fucking staff. And then when he retired, she took over for him. And then the guy in this fucking suit, he's just a tinkerer. He likes building shit. He builds a robot suit. And I'm backtracking a lot. The Public Enemies, the toy maker, wasn't he a villain? Yeah. So they so originally the first Toyman looked like Wasn't he in Batman? No, he's always been a Superman villain. Okay. You would know when he first showed up, like his first appearance. Oh no! They all come crashing down. His first appearance, he looked like this. What the hell? Oh, that toy. Okay. Now, in the '95 Superman cartoon, they upgraded him and made him look like a little fucking plastic mannequin doll, where he was always smiling. Okay. And it was just a dude wearing a mask, but he looked like a doll. Yeah. Well, the guy who wrote Public Enemies, the comic book, he was just like, yeah, I need somebody who. They explain it in the comic book. Like this kid, he's got all these amazing abilities that Batman finds, and he's super smart. And when they find the kid doesn't really have a superhero name, and they're like, well, think of a name, kid. And he's like, I don't know. And they're like, Superman's like, well, what about Toy Man? You like all these toys? And he's like, yeah, Toy Man. So then he becomes the new Toy Man.
I think okay, that was probably the only part of the movie that I would question was, okay, yeah, you got a kid named Toy Man, and he got. Side note, he gets punched in the face by Power Girl because he looks at her naked through his X-ray glasses. But anyway, it was the Rock. It was a half Superman, half Batman. Yeah, it fits his personality. Oh yeah, he was the Toy Man. But like I thought that killed it for me a little bit. Was
kind of a lame. Toy Man generally was a kind of a lame villain. It's a fucking. He's attacking Superman with fucking remote control cars.
Yeah.
Nutcracker dolls and.
So I'm like, really? You can make all these incredible things. You can make a damn metal suit that can fly into space, and you're fighting with toys. Like yeah. But I lost track again. Anyways, so Steel. So Steel. What's Steel's name? She's named Steel too, right?
Natasha Irons.
That's what she called herself. She called herself Steel. Nothing.
I can't remember what her fucking comic book name was.
I thought his was like Steel, like Steel, and hers was like Steel, Steel. I thought that's what shit like that. Am I wrong?
I don't know. I don't. I only read one comic book with her, and it wasn't that great.
But like back to that though, I always feel like I like Steel, I like the suit, I like he. But when you watch the movie, you're like, man, he's really just doing all he can to try to stay up there with the big guys, and they show up. I don't think that'd be ego check. Like, man, what was I thinking? What was I thinking, man? Like, come on.
Yeah. At some point,
come on.
Well, that's funny. I know we've talked about this on the podcast, but no, years ago, and we're gonna have to wrap up with this story. But years ago, Josh, my buddy Red, he was wanting to. He needed help moving, and it was in the middle of July, and it was 3 flights of stairs. And we brought this story up the last weekend. We were visiting them because I was asking them about their dryer because it was making noise, and his wife was like, "Yeah, that's the dryer you dropped when you were going up the stairs." And I remember that fucking moment going up the stairs because this was the time we had auditioned for Who Wants to Be a Superhero. And those real life superhero guys had reached out to me and they're like, "Hey, we want you on the team. Come to one of our meetings. We're gonna have this big get together. Come on up." And I'm thinking, yeah, man, fucking real life superheroes. And it's the middle of the summer. It's hot as fuck. I'm helping Josh move. It's miserable. We're going up 3 flights of stairs. I'm sweating my ass off. I dropped that fucking dryer, and I'm thinking, there's no way in hell I can be a superhero. I can't do it. But that feeling that I had is the same feeling Steel had when he tries to fight off Eradicator and save Superboy. It's like, I bit off way more than I could fucking chew.
I thought this thing would help me, but
yeah,
it is what it is, though.
I'll just be a consultant. Let me just step in the background and help you with technology and stuff. And
they keep them around. They're like, hey, you can come. Just hang out with King Arthur over here, and
the Shining Knight.
Hang out with Shining Knight, and
another character nobody gives a fuck about.
Yeah, hang out with the crew back here. Hang out with the D crew. Well, who's the B crew? Oh, T-Man. What's his name? The guy with the T in space.
Mr. Terrific.
Yeah, come on. I think maybe he might cut the top 10.
I just like his look. I think it's a badass look, man. He's got that jacket.
Real quick, what are his orbs?
The T-spheres.
So
they're basically drones. They're little drones that he made.
Are they indestructible or something?
Yeah, the special nth metal, and they got.
Are there lasers in there? Or can they change shape or shit? He can fly them or something.
Pretty much sonar, sonic weapons, electricity, everything you need. They can hack. You can do everything with it. One of Mr. Terrific's only power is he is always the 3rd smartest person on Earth. That's his power. That's literally his power. 3rd smartest person on Earth.
He will always be number 3.
There's going to be 2 more people smarter than him at all times, but he's number 3.
I gotta look that up. I gotta see that. I gotta read that. I gotta read that myself.
Anyway.
I gotta read that. But
Well, we're gonna have to wrap this one up, boy.
all right. Thank everybody. Thank everybody for joining us again this evening. We are Big Beefing. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. That's Big BEFN. I am JP. You can catch me almost every morning on JP's What. You can always find Shane on Big Beefing. And remember, everybody, if you join Big Beefing and you ask Shane, he will personally write you a handwritten thank you with his signature on it. Not every two letters are the same. He takes very much pride in everyone and everybody who joins us on the Big Beefing Show.
I haven't had any requests for the letter yet.
I'm waiting for that day, Shane. Though they're coming. They're coming, Shay. I guarantee you, they're coming.
I think most people aren't going to give me their address. That's what my biggest thing is.
Yeah. Maybe we could do like, I don't know. Maybe we get their email address. You can write them a letter and take a picture.
Well, and then they would actually be able to read it if I did it that way. All right, boy. We'll see you Friday night.
Oh, exciting! Dan's been working hard. I'm proud of Daniel. He's been working really hard on this one.
I'm glad he did it because I mean, I was going to talk to the lady, but you know, I wait till the last fucking minute. I don't like setting it up. It's just not my personality. And Daniel's like, "You talk to him? You talk to him?" And I'm like, "Fuck, man, I'll talk."
He is super excited. I hope it all works out. But he is super excited though. So
I'll let him take the reins, and he's gave me the questions. So if we need to jump in and help him out, we can.
He just needs me to introduce us, and he'll take it from there. So
cool, man.
All right, brother. I'll see you Friday. You have a good one.
See you, dude.
All right. Bye.
Bye, boy.